In the early hours of July 12, 1987, a woman disappeared in Dublin after a night that began with a major concert and ended somewhere in the city. What happened next was not immediately clear. Only later were parts of the night reconstructed through witness accounts and physical evidence. What followed would later be examined as a homicide investigation that remains unresolved. On July 11, 1987, more than 80,000 people gathered at Slane Castle in County Meath. The event was the Dublin stop of David Bowie's Glass Spider Tour. Among those attending was Antoinette Smith. She was 27 years old, a mother of two. She lived in Clondalkin, West Dublin. Antoinette attended the concert with a friend. After it ended, they returned to Dublin city centre by bus late that evening. The city was crowded. The weather was typical for a July night in Ireland. By midnight, attention shifted from the concert to the nightlife around Parnell Street. At approximately 12:15 a.m. on July 12th, Antoinette and her friend entered the La Mirage nightclub on Parnell Street. They remained there for nearly 2 hours. At 2 a.m., Antoinette left the club alone. There is no indication she was distressed at that time. Minutes later, she was observed at a taxi rank on O'Connell Street, near the Gresham Hotel. She was not alone. Witnesses reported seeing her in the company of two men. Both were described as being in their early 20s. Their identities remain unknown. Observers later noted a specific detail. The group did not talk. They stood together quietly while waiting. At approximately 2:15 a.m., a taxi arrived. All three entered the vehicle. The taxi departed the rank. This is the last point at which Antoinette Smith's movements are confirmed. When Antoinette failed to return home, she was reported missing by her family. Days passed without sightings. Weeks followed. For 9 months, there was no confirmed information regarding her whereabouts. On April 3, 1988, two individuals walking on Dublin Mountain in the Dublin Mountains discovered human remains. The remains were located in a shallow grave near the Limace Monument. Forensic teams were called to the scene. The body was identified as Antoinette Smith. She was still wearing the David Bowie Glass Spider Tour t-shirt she had worn the night she disappeared. A post-mortem examination determined the cause of death was manual strangulation. The investigation focused on 3 unknown individuals: the 2 men seen at the taxi rank, and the taxi driver who collected them. Despite public appeals and extensive inquiries, the driver never came forward. The 2 men remain unidentified. In the years following the discovery, Antoinette Smith's murder was reviewed by the Garda Serious Crime Review Team. During this period, the case became associated in public discussion with a series of disappearances later referred to as the Vanishing Triangle. Between 1993 and 1998, several young women disappeared from the eastern region of Ireland. Their bodies were never recovered. While Antoinette Smith's remains were found, the geographic proximity and lack of suspects led to theories suggesting a possible connection. Investigators have stated that no definitive forensic link has ever been established between Smith's murder and the later disappearances. The association remains unproven. 38 years have passed. Antoinette Smith's children are now adults. The 2 men seen with her at the O'Connell Street taxi rank have never been formally identified or questioned. The taxi driver has never been located. Gardaí continue to classify the case as an active murder investigation. No one has ever been charged. The final confirmed sighting of Antoinette Smith remains the taxi rank on O'Connell Street. The quiet wait, the taxi's arrival, the departure at 2:15 a.m., the identities of the men in the vehicle and the driver who transported them remain unknown. Antoinette Smith was murdered. Who was responsible has never been established. The case remains unresolved. This is Obscura case, where every mystery deserves to be remembered.